Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda. I'm Bob. And Bob, we're here from Jar of Marbles wishing you a lovely day, evening, and so glad that you're here with us. It's great that you're here. I love it when I know that you're here. I hope your day has been a good one, and if it hasn't, come on, grab a seat. If you're not sitting, and let's just hang out together for a little bit. As we journey through our lives, we bit by bit, sometimes unknowingly, sometimes with intention, work out our non-negotiables. I'd like to talk a little bit about our non-negotiables, those being our standards which are formed, and hopefully they are high standards as we expect the good stuff, whatever the good stuff is to you, that we treat ourselves and others with real, jovial and peaceful happiness. The majesty of watching plants grow. I know, I'm always going on about it, but I do love it. You put a seed into the ground and then it grows. Get out of here. I know, it's quite magical, Bob. Life can push us down, and I have for some time enjoyed the beautiful pastime of watching plants grow. I love flowers that grow in cracks. I admire their determination. I'd like to spend the rest of my life watching plants. This act alone pieces me right out when I feel pushed by life, which is code for when people are in the mix. I had discovered by chance, or was it? Everyone likes you when you do everything that everyone wants you to do. No one likes you when you have boundaries. So how about this? The more I put boundaries in place, the less certain people liked me. I had to learn to grow boundaries, and that made me a bit unpopular. This definitely became one of my non-negotiables. Yeah, me too. The more I understood how fantastic and healthy having boundaries are, the more I was keeping that shit up. Boundaries firstly protect your peace. Let's be clear, boundaries are not walls to keep everyone out. Boundaries are the doors created to guide everyone the respectful way in. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, nice. So do I. Thanks, Bob. Telling someone no reveals someone's true character. Have you heard the saying, if everyone likes you, then you're probably doing something wrong? Yep, I hear it and I know it. My people-pleasing has got a hard break on it. That's right. Oh yeah. That's it. Thank you. But be warned, dwellers, boundaries make you the villain in other people's stories. The right people will love you, possibly learn from you. The people who walk all over you have no respect for you, and they are not interested in boundaries because they won't be able to get away with bad behaviour. Tut, tut. Boundaries create a line of respect. It is, however, so ingrained in us to be well liked and hopefully by everyone. It's nonsense. It's just a non-negotiable. Good on you, Bob. It's plain impossible and unreachable. Boundaries are essential to our well-being. As you know, I'm an advocate for self-care. Boundaries are displaying true self-care, because if no one else is going to look out for you, not that it is their job, then who? You? That's right. Correct, Bob. We teach others how to treat us. You have to be firm to make it through, especially if it is behaviours that you have had all your life. Facts. No boundaries, no respect. So, creating boundaries means that there is every chance you are dealing with toxic people, related or otherwise. How many of us are liked until we are no longer needed? Oh, I like that one too. I know. And that's another non-negotiable right there. You may have had someone who was busy finding all your faults while you were overlooking theirs. That does get a bit old, doesn't it? Sure does. Entering into the season of putting in boundaries, we all have our own stories, but nonetheless, it can feel very uncomfortable, but hold firm. That too will pass, and they hate you real quick when you say no real quick, or stand for yourself. Bring what they said out into the open. Oh, no, there'll be none of that. Well, there will be actually. I love people with healthy boundaries. There are people that you can do a lot for and they still won't like you, and they will keep you around to use you. They are just the lowest of the low. It is never too late to work on yourself. Anything that is costing me my peace is too expensive. Maybe no one likes you with boundaries, but I like me and my life better with boundaries. I particularly love your boundaries. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Bob. They look so good on you. Oh, thank you. Gosh. Hashtag your non-negotiables. I do not plan on losing myself to suit another's agenda. Does that sound familiar to you? Being complicit and people-pleasing messes with your mental health. Saying no means you will disappoint people, but fair to say, they will survive. Self-care dwellers. Self-care has many faces. Some faces need a punch in the face, a nice smackaroo in the chops. I know. Okay, but you know what they bloody well do? That's right, non-negotiables. Dwellers, that's it. I was just thinking it really. I wouldn't really. I was just thinking about a lady called Rosemary Ringer who has written a book called Remembering the Light, How Dying Saved My Life. I found stories about NDEs, near-death experiences, and Rosemary's story was so interesting. But her delightfulness, her humour and matter-of-factness, her intelligence, kindness, and her beautiful heart was really hard to click away from. She was left with some interesting non-negotiables after her experience, and I found a real peace from listening to her. She talked about when she realised she had died, that there was no life review. I don't know about you, but I've thought, yes, sirree, no life review, you beauty. I just shudder at the thought of my entire life up for review. Oh, that'd be interesting. Oh, no, you've got no idea, Bob. Oh, I think I do. It was a very sincere discussion about her experience and the experiences leading up to her NDE, which was so difficult because her husband had committed suicide. She found him and he'd left her a note saying that it was her fault. Some time later, she went on to have a medical procedure where she bled out, had a heart attack and was dead for 10 minutes and came back to life with no brain injury. In general, the brain can withstand 3 to 6 minutes before incurring brain damage, so 10 minutes is a really long time to have no oxygen and brain damage would well be on its way to occurring, but she did not. I've heard a few experiences and most of them I feel quite emotional, mostly lovely. But there was something very soulful about Rosemary Ringer's testimony and her candour. I read about another non-negotiable and I loved it. It's vulnerability, the beauty of showing your emotions. Now just buckle up. Probably a good idea, Bob. Hashtag your non-negotiables. Put your hand on your chest and say, I love myself. I honour myself. If it feels strange, maybe have a little peek into that. Just because you can carry the weight doesn't mean it's not heavy. Whoa, yeah, that's good, isn't it? Just because you can carry the weight doesn't mean it's not heavy. Vulnerability is a non-negotiable. To be able to honour your feelings and your emotions because you love yourself, it's finding your own truth. When you don't need anyone or need a relationship, it makes you the strongest as opposed to the large percent of people who just live with bullshit. Oh, you said bullshit. Yes, I did, Bob. Thank you for that clarification and observation. You're welcome. When you no longer need anyone, you will find you're just happy with yourself. It is just the way it is. When you come from that energetic space, you no longer need to put yourself through the ringer of hiding who you really are because you know that they will have objections. What happens is you can look objectively at the person and ask, is this the person that reflects back to me some of my deepest wounds and helps me to heal them? Oh, that's huge. It is, Bob. Another question is this person that I can be my authentic self around with communicating anything? These and more questions help you to see if you can be vulnerable, aka be yourself, aka I should say, be yourself completely. And are you happy to hide yourself for all time in order for this relationship to continue functioning? Another non-negotiable is not beating yourself up. Many of us, if we allow ourselves a deep dive into our inner being may find that they have never been happy. If we look honestly back in time, looking for good things that have happened, often there is some kind of manipulation behind it, learning to allow ourselves to have awareness about affirming, for example, today is going to be a great day. Before you poo-poo that idea, have you ever actually done it? And consistently, purposely stating how your day is going to be, things might come, yes, but if you can reconstruct your thinking, your heart space, everything else will flow. Don't poo-poo it till you try it, dweller. Hashtag your non-negotiable. Thoughtful perspectives can be the driving force to change. And I really love that. We bloom, we blossom, we wilt, and then we grow again. We sprout more if we can love ourselves through it all. It is simple beauty and a non-negotiable.
I've got a joke.
Well, let's have it then.
Sylvester Stallone said he wants to make a movie about classical music. He says, I will be Beethoven. John Claude Van Damme says, okay, well, I'll be Mozart. And Arnold Schwarzenegger says, I'll be back.
I'll be back. You know what? That wasn't bad, Bob. Another non-negotiable is not caring what other people think. Ooh, that's a hard one, isn't it? Too many of us are caught up in messes self-made because we've agreed to it. I say self-made because when we get through these messes, as in out the other end, it is so empowering because you got you through. It is always you that gets you through, because if we are in the business of caring what others think, perhaps the old people-pleasing aspect and also feeling afraid to speak up, for me, caring what others think is truly none of my business. And the more I've thought on this, it's so true. And as quoted by the actor Sir Anthony Hopkins, my philosophy is what people say about me is none of my business. I am who I am and I do what I do. I expect nothing and accept everything. That makes life easier. We live in a world where funerals are more important than the deceased. Marriage is more important than love. Other non-negotiable, regrets. Simply, you must love yourself. Care about yourself. If love is too much of a heavy word for you, genuinely care about yourself. Your community, however that looks, I've made some terrible mistakes and have made some good decisions or moves. Guilt and regret are a wasteful emotions. You must forgive yourself and move on. Each day you can, by choice, get better each day, better than yesterday, and will be better tomorrow. While forgiving ourselves can be the hardest in order to have a life well lived and learn from regrets, look forward. Looking back holds you to the past. Move on. You've got to escape your head. Forgiving yourself, it is said, is the pinnacle of human potential. Most will never try to reach it.
I have forgiven myself.
You have, Bob?
I'm not sure for what, but I have.
Choosing moving forward is always a smart and kind decision. Good on you, Bob. Another non-negotiable is don't give up. Keep going. Get over the little voices in your head that tries to slow you down or knock your ideas. You've just got to get over that. It's a waste of precious time. Don't let anyone push you down. I can only hope that you are here because you have heard the call to a better life. Be very proud of yourself. That can feel like a weird suggestion, which tells me all the reason to make friends with the notion. Stand up for yourself. Be a very good friend to yourself. Sir Anthony Hopkins is the epitome of being stoic. That is to say, he's not weighing himself down with what happened 20 years ago or even a week ago. There is nothing that can be changed but the present, and the future is something we can contribute to, a different, more interesting life, a life that you are happy to be having because you're not lost in yesteryear's pain, which has long gone. When people insist on suffering for years, they in turn punish everyone around them. It is a hard energy to be around that, and there isn't much room for full expression and development. Stoicism emphasizes focusing on things that are in your control and accepting what you cannot change. In the modern era where information overload and external pressures are our normal, people can benefit by channeling their energy into areas where they have influence. For example, instead of worrying about global events beyond your control, focus on personal development, relationships, and perhaps decisions that contribute positively to your life. Stoicism encourages being present and mindful of the current moment. In a world filled with distractions, practicing mindfulness can truly help individuals navigate the challenges of constant connectivity. Apply Stoic wisdom to the modern era requires a thoughtful and very intentional approach. By integrating these principles into daily life, we can navigate the complexities of the modern world with greater resilience, mindfulness, and a focus on personal growth. And I can see the value in all of it. Many of us are doing many of these things already, and words like resilience, I know I have developed more of that, and that keeps me from falling into emotional traps that others may try to involve me in, whether they mean to or not. Because I know myself, and I know after much searching for answers to be able to navigate my world with more ease, resilience has served me and serves me really well, and being mindful. Seeing the unfolding of scenarios that I'd rather not be involved with helps to keep me safe and not go down paths that are not for me, just awful distractions that have no value whatsoever. Another value in being stoic is appreciation, practicing gratitude for what you have rather than constantly seeking for the other thing, constantly seeking more. Cultivate a mindset that values experiences and relationships over material possessions. So that's another good one, isn't it? Us humans and our material possessions. I found it very interesting and got a lot of value from reading about Stoicism, wisdom. There was a whole lot of resonating going on. Knowing and being able to name things that you will never fold on, refuse wholeheartedly to negotiate your sense of respect, know what your non-negotiables are, and what lines you will never cross is huge. That is displaying, walking your talk, that you can't be led down some pathway for someone else's benefit, and those benefits normally are not good. Hashtag your non-negotiables. One thing for sure is that I will never ever do, it's a total non-negotiable, so I'll never text or read texts on my phone while driving. Texting while driving is a dangerous activity that can lead to serious consequences. It is the leading cause of avoidable crashes, collisions in Australia. The percentages...
Are you right?
I'm fine. The percentages prove that texting while driving is more dangerous than drunk driving. That's a blowout. That's just a blowout.
Yeah, I'm blown out.
Yeah, it's ordinary, that's for sure. Around 30% of young drivers text while driving. According to a study by the Australian National Crash In-Depth Study, nearly 30% of fatal crashes and 45% of serious injuries are caused by inattentive drivers. We still think that we are bulletproof, and we just are not. So no, I'm simply and willingly not that important that I have to respond then and there on hearing the ding.
Resist the urge.
Done with ease, Bob. I'm all pleased to not be connected to my phone. I like the sheer lightness and freedom I get from not being tied to my phone. It's my age showing again, in as much as I came from an era where phones were connected to the wall. A part of me is still in awe of that reality, long past, of course, but I love that I can replicate that era sometimes in my day-to-day. Having a pet is a powerful non-negotiable for many people. To have their little furry or not so furry loved one is an absolute must, and I get it completely. Some people consider travel to be a non-negotiable and prioritise that over many other things, and hell, why not? Identifying your non-negotiables can be helpful in understanding your values and priorities. Here are some steps you can take to identify yours. Taking time to reflect on your values and needs. Think about what is important to you that has you feeling fulfilled and happy. This would include your personal beliefs, values, and preferences. You may find you'll revisit and revise your non-negotiables. Preferences in life can change. We can all change and grow, and we certainly are not a one-size-fits-all, as are our tastes in life. They can change for sure. To be able to have healthy boundaries and ensure that your needs are being met means you have clear lines. You have those as your non-negotiables in your guideline, in your standard.
I have a joke.
Well, let's have it.
What do you call a reluctant potato?
I don't know. What do you call a reluctant potato?
A hesitator. Oh. An old man at the bank asked if I could check his balance. It wasn't hard to push him over.
Oh, Bob, that's really bad. Well, maybe no. How about this one, Bob? A waitress asked how the man found a steak, and he said it was easy. It was right next to his potatoes. Oh, your jokes are non-negotiables, really, aren't they?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, they're fun and having fun. That has to be a non-negotiable.
Oh, that's a very good point you make there.
Yeah, I think so. What is life without being in awe and having fun and being silly and telling jokes? If the intention is a sweet one that makes someone smile, then that's a pretty outstanding and worthwhile non-negotiable, I'd say. That's right. Thank you very much. No, really. Thank you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, me too. I know of people who have to live in particular places, be it the country, by the sea, or in a city or a small town. Certain styles of living, if possible, are a non-negotiable. When your core values are rock solid and they are firm and not open for discussion or negotiation, you have your non-negotiables in the bag. A kind of a reminder also to always, yes, be yourself. Total non-negotiable right there. Be true to yourself. Being true to yourself is a lifelong practice that requires commitment and recommitment, moment to moment, as you grow and evolve. The answer to what is true for you always exists at the core of who you are. Oh yes, but it can be challenging when societal norms, which is not ever a good or a fair measure, so when societal norms are in conflict with your values and beliefs, so important to peel away the conditioning, the programming, and be true to what is right for you. That's right. Oh yes, that's right. Thank you very much. That old nugget of tuning into yourself, for taking your focus away from expectations. Once you're able to do a little bit more of that, of the latter there, then you are honouring yourself.
Oh, so important.
It is, Bob. It feels really good.
Because I did it my way.
Whoop, whoop. Good on you, Bob.
That's right.
So, in essence, setting up and protecting your non-negotiables, the things you simply won't abide, suffer or put up with, the choices you make for yourself, is honouring yourself, and along the way remembering to be proud of every step you take towards your goal. Stop and give yourself a pat on the back.
Wait, do you do that?
I actually have, yes. Patted myself on the back and I've said, go me, you did it. Absolutely I have.
Oh, okay.
And Bob, it feels really good. It's acknowledging my part in the outcome.
But why?
It means I'm acknowledging myself to myself and anyone with ears who happens to be in the room. But while it's simple, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek too. But it's being aware, being mindful for you.
Oh, okay.
And Bob, you may not want to hold your breath waiting to receive recognition for others. You've got to do it for you.
I like it.
Another non-negotiable is if you've been betrayed, that's a never go there again. It's just absolutely a big fat
no.
That's right, Bob. It's sending a message. You're appreciating yourself, and it's not putting any obligation or pressure of someone else saying a nice but true statement. It means you are standing strong in your own energy, in your own value, and we are invested in being actively empowering. So it's a bit of the old walk your talk. Happy to do it. Well, it's looking like it's time to step down from my soapbox.
Oh, but I like it up here.
Nothing wrong with that, Bob. Making it all fun makes life feel doable, quirky-ish. I do like that. And in the grand symphony of life, my non-negotiables are the unruly percussion section, the funky bass line.
Oh, the unexpected key change.
Oh, I like that, Bob. Like a whimsical wizard casting spells of spontaneity, my non-negotiables are the kaleidoscope, confetti, and the party of existence. What do you think of that?
Oh, that was hot. I know.
So, as the curtain falls on this week's podcast, remember life's non-negotiables are the glitter in our reality. Embrace the quirks, dance to your own rhythm, and let the unpredictable encore of each day surprise and enchant you. After all, in this slice of existence, normal is overrated and eccentricity is the true headliner.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
You know what, Bob? Me too. So, say good day to the family for me, give the turkey a gobble, and I'll see you next time, okay? Okay then. Bye.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.